Jeffersons.
Yes.
Yes. Woo!
A fresh look back. A fresh look back featuring
Yes.
episodic insights, interviews, a peek behind the scenes, and photos. Before we get started, I'd like to remind everyone to please silence your cell phones, except for this one.
Yes.
Consider joining our email list to learn more about the wonderful authors we host here. You can find more info at our site, booksoup.com, or find us on social media. Now, to introduce our special guest tonight. Elva Green was born in and continues to live in Los Angeles, California. 1996, she decided to write a book about her father, the legendary Eddie Green, to provide an example to her grandson of the ability of a person to succeed no matter the obstacles. Eddie Green, the rise of an early 1900s Black American entertainment pioneer, is a culmination of her extensive research into a book that draws the reader into the story of one of America's most beloved comedians. Elva was named a foreword Indy's 2016 Bronze Book Award winner for this book.
Woo!
So please join me in welcoming first her brother Brad, and then he's going to be in conversation with Elva tonight. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you very much.
She's laughing. Why is she laughing? I think she clapped. Oh, she's clapping.
So I was thinking about Elva last week or so when all this was coming to a head, and it dawned on me. I'm 67 years old. It dawned on me that since I can remember back 5 years old, that's the lady that was always there.
Every day.
Through my whole life, that's the lady that was there. So for her to be able to accomplish this means a lot to our family.
Yes.
And thank you guys for coming. Now I present my sister.
Oh, yes. Thank you. That's my mama.
And the crowd goes wild.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brad. Been easy. Hi, my name is Elva Diane Green. You can call me Elva. And welcome to my family members. And those of you who are new to me, to the country, to this bookstore, and to my old friends that showed up.
Yes.
Yeah. Especially Elliot.
Yes.
We're out of town. Wow.
Yeah, came here for
It's
it.
been a long time.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay, let's see. As Brad, I think someone mentioned, maybe it was Mark, I started this journey by writing a book about my father, Eddie Green. And I did that specifically to share his story with my grandson. And because my father was born in 1891, he was 30 years older than my mother. And the time that he was born in as a black man was very rough for a black person to get ahead, male or female. And Eddie started out early. He left home at 9 years old.
Wow.
And he wound up becoming famous. And as a child, I knew a little bit about him. I knew that he had written a song, and that he had been on Amos and Andy, and a couple of things that my mom told me. But when I decided to write the book and to go into research, I learned like 98% more stuff about Eddie's life than I'd ever even heard about.
Do research.
And
On the bus, going to this library and that library, all by herself.
Soaking it
her
up.
hecklers. Someone told me on Facebook, you know, that it must have been a labor of love for me, and it was, you know, and so having to get on the bus, you know, before I had a car, and going to the museum in Beverly Hills where they keep all the Academy Award stuff, to find my father's posters for the movies that he produced and wrote and directed and starred in was amazing. You know, so I didn't have a problem getting up and getting on the bus. It took me a while. It took me years to really do that. And, you know, I had no idea that I was going to write another book after I did that. But I personally believe that this is supposed to have happened because, you know, I did all the research, and I do suggest that, you know, if somebody out there wants to do the same thing, write a book, you know, the more you research, the more you'll find out, you know, the easier it gets. People help you. So I wound up researching how to get a publisher and how to write a query letter and this, that, and the other. And I put the book online for some of my friends to help me proofread it. And a publisher got in touch with me and said, "Hi, do you need a publisher?" I didn't even have to, you know, look. And I said yes, because he had actually been mentioned to me before. And this gentleman liked my book so much that he asked me to write a book about the Jeffersons, because Marla Gibbs is his favorite actress, my publisher's favorite actress. And so he wanted me to write a book about the show, and specifically, you know, they talked about Marla Gibbs. And he had the book in mind for the past 10 years before he asked me. Someone else had started to write it, but this other person got too busy. So they passed their information on to me. So of course I said yes, you know, I'm somebody. And I had all the information that this guy sent to me, and I had photos, and what I did was I used that person's information and put a book together and sent it to the publisher, and the editor said, "What the?" He said, "What is this? I know you can do better than this." And I had totally misunderstood. You know, they sent me this information, but they wanted me to use it and to reword everything and put it in my own words. You know, write about it the way I wanted to write it. So I have to.
And you were writing style.
Right. So then I got, you know, I was a little upset because, okay, now I have to rewrite it. And I did. I didn't have to worry about I'd already actually had all my interviews done. You know, I had interviewed Norman Lear. I interviewed Berlinda Tolbert, the lady who played Jenny. Yeah, Lionel's girlfriend. I interviewed some of the guests. I interviewed Willie, Tyler, and Lester. Yeah, I actually spoke with him on the phone, and I actually spoke with Norman, and Berlinda invited me to her, she was visiting LA here in West Hollywood, and she invited me, and we spent an hour like having lunch, and she, you know, suggested other people for me to talk to, And she was really, really cool to talk with. So I rewrote the book. And when my editor got it back, he said, wow. He said,
That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, he was like all happy. He was like, dang. He said, I know I told you to rewrite it, but I didn't think it was going to come back this good. And, you know, what I realized was that what I did was I wrote the book. I didn't use what I had sent.
Right.
I wrote the book as if the same way I had written the book about Eddie.
Right.
You know, I did more research. I looked into more of these people's lives. I re-looked at the CDs, you know, the reruns.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And I got into the book and I got interested, you know, and so this time, you know, I wrote a really good book. And it's funny because to me, you know, I always say, I just wrote the book. You know, it's like, but I get reviews from people who say things like, you know, Elva Green has done it again. And I'm like,
Me?
what the heck is that? That's me. You know, that's me. And so it's taken me a little while, you know, to blow my own horn, to toot my own horn, as they say. And my sister's always telling me, you know, I'm supposed to be like, oh, Diane. I'm supposed to bring Diane out, my alternate name.
Alter ego.
Yeah. Because it's Diane who stands up here, you know, and laughs and jokes and says, I'm so good.
Actually. Oh, yeah.
And I told her, I was like, no, you know, I'm like the three faces of Eve. You know, I can't just be two. I want to be three. You know, I gotta have three different personalities. So I don't know, but you know, then I thought back and I thought about the things that I have done. That Brad mentioned before I wrote this book. You know, some of the things that I've done in my life, you know, should have been, it's probably Diane doing them and not Elva. Because Elva just wants to sit down and be quiet, you know, and read and you know, and hit on guys. And that's about it.
No.
TMI.
La, 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 la.
TMI.
Oh, okay. But that's me.
Yeah.
Elva.
That's me. That's Elva.
Or is that Diane? Which one?
Diane is the person who puts guys out.
Oh.
When you get, you know, when it's time for you to go.
Oh.
That's what Donna told me.
Civil up on it.
Okay.
Civil up.
Okay. Can I see what the book looks like?
I was telling somebody, Mark, earlier that, you know, I come from this family. This family's nutty, and I'm nutty too, you know.
I resemble
So
that.
there it comes. It comes out sometimes. Because Diane is like, okay. As Richard would say, well, maybe I'll go. He's stepped down. Richard would say, okay. So, this is my first book reading for the Jeffersons. The book came out on my birthday,
Oh.
June 22nd. Yes, I have the best publisher. He said, you know, when would you like it to come out? And I gave him my date, and he said, good, we'll have it ready. And he did. And what I was going to do is read something from the book. I was supposed to have chosen something. before I got here, and I didn't. But I will say that